The energy that's been here, building to the playoffs and now starting in the playoffs, it's truly been sensational.
I'm just trying to help the Sabres win games to the best of my capacity.
You can expect this to be the hardest game that we're going to have to play short term here. They're in the nothing to lose and everything to gain category.
It's us versus everybody else.
Hey folks, welcome to Leading the Charge. I'm Dom Tibbetts. Tonight we have a jam-packed show for you. We are talking all things Buffalo Sabres with Joe Yerdon, a Bleacher Report, and recapping the NFL Draft with Buffalo Rumblings team site producer Chris Trapasso. But first, looking ahead to tomorrow night's Game 5 between the Buffalo Sabres and Boston Bruins. Buffalo with a chance to win the series and advance out of the first round for the first time in nearly 2 decades. The atmosphere will be electric, to say the least, inside the KeyBank Center, but the Sabres have to approach the game like a team that's playing just as desperate as Boston will, because the Bruins will come in backs up against the wall, season on the line, desperate to do anything it takes to extend their season. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff made sure to emphasize how difficult Game 5 will be, even on their home ice.
You can expect this to be the hardest game that we're going to have to play short term here. Because they're in the nothing to lose and everything to gain category. They're embarrassed to a man about the game. I said this before the series started. They're a good team, and I have a lot of respect for how hard it is to get to where they got, let alone get where we got to.
All right, on the injury front, Lindy Ruff told reporters today that forwards Jason Zucker and Tyson Kozak are, quote, probable to play in order for tomorrow's game. And he's adding there's also a chance forward Josh Norris could also suit up. Possibility there. Puck drop is at 7:30 from the KeyBank Center. Of course, we want to remind all of you, whether it's on Facebook, our streams there, our X on Twitter, which is at Matt Beauvais account. Drop your questions, comments, concern later on in the last block of the show. I will do my best to answer all of those questions. Now, you probably have a lot of questions about how we got here to this point with the Buffalo Sabres in that opening round against the Boston Bruins. Well, great news for you all. I caught up with Bleacher Report's Joe Yerdon to talk all things about this playoff series. Well, greetings from the KeyBank Center, everybody. Dom Tibbetts here alongside Joe Yerdon, NotedHockey.com, also Bleacher Report for the Buffalo Sabres. Joe, thank you so much for coming and talking a little Buffalo Sabres here. You and I were in Boston for Game 3. You were there for Game 4. I want to start there on the road. Did you learn anything new about this team, or maybe something that was just solidified with the way that they were able to win both of those games, including the fact that they did it just in 2 different separate styles?
Well, the thing I liked about how they played in Game 3 was that you could see what they had gathered from Games 1 and 2, where Boston was really able to kind of flex on them, get a lot of shots, generate a lot of opportunities. In Game 3, it kind of flipped. And it started right after Lyon stops a penalty shot on Victor Arvidsson. And then from that point on, Sabres kind of settled in, figured out some things that the Bruins were doing to try to counter them defensively, and then they just kind of went. As the later part of Game 3 was they were on fire, and then all of Game 4, they just rolled right over Boston. So I like a lot of what they did to learn from it and to take it and to move forward, and to end up blowing the Bruins right out of the barn in Game 4.
You mentioned the penalty shot save from Alex Lyon there too. My turning point in this series was I think the Sabres needed to see Bo Byram score in the second period instead of mashing all the buttons together there in the third period. So for me, I felt like that was a turning point where I think this team got some confidence. You mentioned that penalty shot save. Was there another moment maybe in Game 3 where you felt like this team had flipped the switch and then you kind of saw that come to fruition in Game 4?
Well, they were able to kind of break through what the Bruins were doing defensively to them, shutting them down in the neutral zone, keeping them to the outside in the zone to shots from the outside. That's what every team wants to have, makes it easy on the goalie. They were able to get to the inside. And when you're starting to do that and you're bringing your defense up the slot, guys are coming up the seam like that, you're able to generate more shots, better opportunities, and suddenly it's making Boston's defense kind of scramble a little bit. So it makes things a little bit easier for the offense to keep going and to generate possession and keep the puck in the zone. And when you're doing that, you're stressing them out. When you stress them out, sometimes you get goals.
All right, so we're talking here. This is the Monday ahead of Game 5 back here Tuesday. Sabres with a chance to clinch in their first playoff series in 15 years. I can't imagine, Joe, what this atmosphere is going to be like, given the fact of what we've seen in the first 2 games. So far in this series, though, not trying to count the chickens too early here, who's been your series MVP?
Boy, that's a tough one.
I know, because you could go so many different ways with it.
Right, and it's hard to not look at Bo Byram. I mean, Byram's been so good offensively. Defensively, he and Owen Power have been outstanding, shutting down the Bruins, getting in the way, just controlling possession, doing a lot of those things. It's very easy to pick Byram because of the goals and what he's done, but it's the leadership, it's the defense, it's all that stuff where he's been able to kind of take control and do things. You have to like what Lyon's done too, obviously. I mean, he's played very well in goal, but I look at Byram and the way he's gone, it's very hard to go away from him. Alex Tuck's another one, very sneaky, because he's gotten the goals, he's gotten the offense, and like that line, I mean, they get so much attention paid to them. They're still doing things. They're doing little things. If they're not scoring, they're controlling the puck and making plays with it when they do have it.
I know I would have loved to have seen Noah Ostlund in the first 2 games of the series too, because his difference on the ice, I feel, has been felt by this team as well here too. As we look ahead to this matchup, what's the biggest key for the Sabres to try to come in on their home ice and clinch this series? You know this Boston team's going to come in desperate, and I think it was Alex Lyon who said after the game yesterday, you have to play like the more desperate team. How does this team even attempt to try doing that, knowing that Bruins squad is going to be playing with their literal backs against the wall?
Well, the thing with this Sabres team since, December, is that they've treated every game day, every day as a new day. Like, okay, we won the last game. All right, what are we doing today to move on? That helps them so much, set the pace mentally to get ready for the game and to say, okay, today's a new day. Let's go and win. Let's go win today. And that kind of check down helps them win day to day, game to game. And they're able to kind of put the past in the past. Might be a little tough because Nikita Zadorov's going to be out there again. Bruins are going to be really desperate. They're going to push. They're going to play a better game in Game 5. But when you can reset like that and just take it as it comes to you, that's a huge deal for them. And that helps Buffalo set the standard for what they have to do. And I think that's what you can expect here in Game 5.
Real quick on the goaltender, I want to ask, because Lindy Ruff has talked so much this season about how they like that rotation, but in this stage of the postseason, I feel like you're going to like that solidified guy. You thought it was going to be UPL. He has a rough game too, and then Alex Lyon has seemingly come in and has kind of shut the door. Do you envision it's just Lyon's net to lose at this point? Do you imagine that it comes back to a moment where maybe they rotate to UPL? How do you kind of view the Sabres going about that?
I think the way they're going to look at it is you're going to ride the guy until he gives you a reason to switch him. Luukkonen had a rough game too. Yeah. No doubt about that. And it gives you a reason to go to Alex and say, all right, man, let's go. And Luukkonen got rode pretty hard at the end of the year, because that was the guy Lindy was like, okay, this is the guy that's going to take us into the postseason. Yep. Once he showed some signs of like, okay, let's maybe switch things up. It was time for Lyon to go. And once he's gone in there, he's played great. You just kind of do that. It's a little tougher to do in the playoffs because if you end up losing a game because the goalie's off for a night, that's a loss in a series, and that can change things very dramatically. But the way these guys have played all year long, and again, with that mental reset, they can just do that. Yeah. I think it's a very particular thing because it goes counter to everything in playoffs past where, you have one goalie and you ride him until you die, and then that's that. I don't think these guys operate that way. I think they're very capable and they're happy with either guy. If either guy's going, they're going to go with him.
Because you brought up his name, Nikita Zadorov, only a $5,000 fine, no suspension. I want to ask first, I think that came down as we were talking to Josh Stone and Beck Malenstein at availability today, so it's something fresh. First, Joe, I want to take on just what you make of the actual fine itself and the punishment, but also going back and watching that, because watching it on the broadcast, for me, it was just so bizarre. The cameras weren't even on the play because it was so far away from where the actual action was happening. What did you make of that whole situation?
Well, watching it from upstairs at TD Garden, all you heard was a shout, and then you saw Zadorov come in with that punch after he had thrown the cross-check, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? You're wondering, okay, maybe chirping, whatever. But you see a play like that, that's the kind of classic playoff message sending, I guess, which the league doesn't like that stuff. A $5,000 fine kind of makes sense. You got the major penalty, game misconduct. They're like, all right, well, there's your game, I guess. The standard to get suspended for a game in the playoffs is a lot higher because playoff games are counted as 2 regular season games. So unless there was an injury to Dahlin, which, I mean, even if there was, we're not going to find out about it.
It's not right.
Right. Yeah. They're not going to tell us. But the standard is a lot higher. It drives fans crazy. Without a doubt. Like, you see that play, you're like, well, he's sitting next game. No, probably not. $5,000 fines, kind of what you expect, but kind of ups the temperature a bit more for Game 5 because, I mean, Nikita's a roughneck, man. He plays that kind of style of game, and, he's trying to get his team going. Like, they had no life throughout that whole game, and you're just trying to get everybody ready for Game 5. Not the way Sabres fans want to see it, obviously, but it's what happens in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
All right, that is Joe Yurden, 7:30, Game 5, right here at the KeyBank Center. Joe, where can people read, watch, and find your work?
Yeah, you can find me at bleacherreport.com, the NHL side there. Plenty of stuff we're doing there. Also, notedhockey.com. That's where I'm doing a lot more of my writing about the Sabres. If you want to read about them there, feel free. Go ahead and read. It's free.
We love the word free. It's my favorite four-letter word in the dictionary right now. All right, that is Joe Yurden. I am Dom Tibbetts. We'll talk to you guys later, and we'll be right back after this.
All right, welcome back to Leading the Charge, everybody. My thanks to Joe Yurden for catching up with me after Sabres practice today to talk things all getting ready for Game 5 tomorrow night, 7:30 at the KeyBank Center between the Sabres and Bruins. We now switch our focus to the Buffalo Bills, though, who added 10 new faces in the NFL draft, including a bunch of undrafted free agents afterwards. So a busy weekend in the Bills, and for more on who they picked, the conversion, or I should say the analytical view of the value that those picks are, we bring in Chris Trapasso from Buffalo Rumblings. All right, we welcome back Chris Trapasso following the 2026 NFL draft. We talked to him a couple weeks ago talking about the Bills, preparation for what could happen, but now here we are. The draft is over. Team site producer, a new job for Buffalo Rumblings and SB Nation. We'll get into that in just a second here, Chris. But looking at this draft class, looking at how Brandon B navigated it, I'll start with just your general thoughts. What would you grade overall the Bills draft class this year?
I gave it a B minus. The two selections, and I'm sure we'll get more granular here. The two selections, cornerback Davison Igbinosun and Jude Bowery. I didn't love those, but I thought the other, we're going to discount the punter because I can't say I did a lot of punter scouting during the pre-draft process. All the other picks I really liked. I thought they got some huge steals in the 4th round after Jude Bowery. And I understood the selection of TJ Parker because there were a few other edge rushers that I felt like we probably discussed, like a Cassius Howell, Malachi Lawrence, who wasn't available, that maybe Bills fans were more attuned with by the time the draft came around. But Parker, I think, ticked a lot of boxes and is the safer of the edge rushers.
I'm looking at your article you just wrote for Buffalo Rumblings, your kind of draft grades, your analysis on some of the picks here too. And like you said, in your bio on Twitter, you are team trade back always. And
Totally.
I think Bills fans were a little critical. Some of them at least were of Brandon Beane trading back so much and getting himself in there. But as you know, sometimes in something as unpredictable as the NFL draft, you want as many roles at the table as you possibly can get. And I think some fans kind of warmed up to that idea is because you're able to stack a bunch of picks in those 2nd and 3rd rounds that the Bills otherwise didn't have prior to that too. So in that philosophy, though, do you think that paid off for Brandon Beane?
I do. I mean, I wrote in that article at Buffalo Rumblings, like if the Bills would have traded up for KC Concepcion, and I think maybe they tried, but they just couldn't get a suitor. Like no one wanted to trade with them. The Browns, especially at 24, because they ultimately picked the receiver, and they didn't have that 125th pick that they used to pick Skylar Bell. The draft would have looked different, and I would have been okay with it. But in general, if we're looking at it from a general perspective, whether it's the Bills, whether it's a rebuilding team, you want to have as many roles at the table as possible, because I can talk ad nauseum about what I think about each individual pick. The Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles can feel super confident in their evaluation process. But over the course of time, if you're hitting on 30, maybe 40% of your picks, you're like the best drafting team in the NFL. So why would you want to come out of a draft with 6 or 7 picks when you can come out of them with 10? So there was a little stretch where the Bills had a few smaller draft classes, but recently, second time in 3 years that the Bills have made 10 selections. That's how you build depth, and you get a quality player in the 5th round, like a Khalil Shakir or a Christian Benford in the 6th round. And like I wrote it in that article too, this was not a roster that was ripe with like, hey, there's 7 holes, starting jobs open. And what has hurt the Bills the most in the playoffs is their depth has been tested and it has not been good enough. And you can say, hey, you can't always bank on those guys being injured, but for as long as an NFL season is today, you can almost guarantee that you're going to have some backups and some maybe 3rd stringers playing against a Patrick Mahomes or against the Denver Broncos on the road. And you have to be faithful that those, or have faith that those players can come in and make plays. So I think what the Bills did to get the 10 selections and say, we want to just add youth that is cheap to this roster and see who can play up and maybe outplay some of the veterans that cost more money. That's the right way to continue to keep the Super Bowl window open.
Chris, my last question for you is just, is there a position still that you feel like the Bills needed to address that wasn't addressed now looking back at this draft class? Or do you think that, just given the fact too that when you pick as late as the Bills do and you trade back, you're probably not going to get that immediate starting quality that you get in some of the earlier picks in the first round? Do you feel like they've hit the checklist they needed to? Is there a position you still feel like they could have addressed this a little bit better?
So I wrote this in my Buffalo Rumblings article that I think we've obsessed a little bit too much with nose tackle, and that we're thinking that it's the 90s or the mid 2000s where every defense is trotting out just 3 defensive linemen and you need like a Vince Wilfork in the middle of the defense. The Bills do have a 6'7", 340-pound defensive tackle named Deion Walker that can technically man the nose. And I think Brandon Beane spoke to that recently. I was surprised, 5th, 6th round, they didn't add a nose tackle, although I feel like Zane Durant from Penn State, one of the day 3 picks, can be that dirty work type player that is going to eat blockers and just be that pesky player. I mean, we have to remember that the last couple seasons in Denver, they ran a 3-4 scheme. Jim Leonard was ingratiated there, and at Wisconsin, he ran a 3-4 base. He wasn't trotting out a bunch of 350-pounders. Like, he understands that the NFL is played in space today and you need to be athletic. A lot of the John Franklin Myers and DJ Jones and Malcolm Roach, they were all around 300 pounds or even under 300 pounds. It's all about the strength at the point of attack. So I think that's probably, I'm a little surprised that they didn't get a more of a classic nose tackle type. But other than that, I think they really have ticked all the boxes to add depth at corner, nickel, add a receiver, linebacker, and then along the offensive line, especially on the interior with Bowery and Reed Adams in the 7th round. I think they actually did a good job hitting a lot of their needs. I just think that Bills fans need to realize this was, again, a team that was bringing back 12 of their 13 highest snap percentage players from a season ago.
All right, my thanks to Chris Trapasso for our wonderful talk. You can get his full conversation as well, the one earlier you saw with Joe Yerdon, over on our website, WKBW.com. When we come back, we are answering your questions. They are filling up. Again, Facebook, Twitter, at Matt Beauvais, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it right now. Submit your questions, comments, concerns. I'll answer as many as I can get to. Coming up on the other side of the break, don't go anywhere. You're watching Leading the Charge on 7 ABC. All right, welcome back to Leading the Charge. To wrap things up here, I'm answering your questions, comments, concerns to wrap up the show here. Be sure to go over to our Facebook at WKBW or Leading the Charge. Drop your questions in there, or if you're on Twitter/X, go to Matt Beauvais' account. That's where you can find them there too. I'm going to go back to the very beginning of the show here before we got on with Joe Yerdon. Matt asked here, how would you grade the Bills draft, and which pick do you think was the best value at its slot? Go Bills. Thank you for your question, Matt. I'm going to go slightly higher than what Chris Trapasso said. I'm going to go with a B. And I think just overall, I like the move to trade back. I like the fact that you didn't have a lot of day 2 picks and a lot of day 3 picks that you needed to add. Brandon Beane has found value in those spots there too. So I'm going to give it a B only because I like the fact that KC Concepcion wasn't going to be there at 26 for you. Go back, try to add some draft volume. And I love that analogy Chris used. Added what did he say? At like a gambling table, right? At the casino. Something that is unsure as the NFL draft. You want as many roles as possible. And that's what the Bills gave themselves there too. My favorite pick, it's probably the kind of favorite one that everybody has looked at, but it's wide receiver Skylar Bell. I was looking over on my Twitter and I saw a tweet from Warren Sharp, who is an NFL expert analyst, from April 25th. Skylar Bell led the entire wide receiver class in this year's draft in volume and usage, 7.8 catches per game. Number one, 34.5% target rate, 2.82 yards per team per pass attempt, 3.46 yards per route versus man-to-man, and almost a little bit more than 3 yards per route versus zone. All that boiled down to the fact that Skylar Bell is extremely good with yards after the catch. They got him late in the 4th round, an extreme value pick, as Chris mentioned. Do you know another wide receiver the Buffalo Bills drafted in a late round scenario that paid off for them? It was Khalil Shakir. I'm not saying that Skylar Bell is going to come in and be the same kind of guy that Khalil Shakir is. They need something different, but I love his ability to make plays, yards after catch. It's going to be huge. And mind you, it's just a wide receiver, and it's another weapon for Josh Allen to accent Joshua Palmer, DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, who Brandon Beane said today they are going to, kind of press the reset button on and try to get him going into this offense here. A couple other ones here too. Scotty Hahn Jr. said, need to close it out tomorrow. Series is 0-0. Talking about the Buffalo Sabres. Scotty, I agree with you. You do not want this series going back to Boston in a Game 6. Go take care of business on home ice. I know it is difficult, but if there's one thing the last 5 periods I think have shown me and probably other Sabre fans who have watched this team, Buffalo's better. Plain and simple. They might not be the most physical at first, and I think Boston was trying to take them out of their game, but Buffalo has proven on the ice that they are the more skilled team. They are more talented. They are, quite frankly, just in every way, shape, and form, a better team here. So they need to go out, win at home, because you don't want this going back to TD Garden. I can't imagine the Bruins are going to want to be in another situation coming off an embarrassing loss in Game 4 where they let things slip away there, too. So, all right, we are running out of time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been another edition of Leading the Charge. We will be back here next Monday, but of course, Sabres Game 5 against the Boston Bruins coming up tomorrow night. We'll see you then.